Hello everyone. This is a recording from Mr. Raymond Ng. I have helped thousands of companies to apply for funding from investors, government agencies, and banks. I want to start a series of talk to share about what are the common fact and myth of investment. Okay, one of the biggest myth of investment is that most people think that actually investors invest because of profits. Technically speaking, it is not exactly correct. Okay, but let me rephrase the question a bit. Perhaps let me ask a question. Do you think profit is the first criteria that an investor look at? Actually, something is more important than profits. And very often, people who actually look for actual investor, they may actually ask you this question. And this word is scalability. Scalability is very often mentioned when you talk to investor, and scalability is actually more important than profits. And let me roughly explain why. First thing first, the textbook and the Wikipedia definition of scalability is actually no point reading because it is only understood well by people with math background. But it just happened that most people do not appreciate math. That's why they couldn't understand scalability. Okay, first thing first. From my experience of at least my client, at least, okay, not all, okay. The 5% they understand are actually very successful businessmen. But the bulk of my clients, 95%, while they may be having good business, they always feel growth problem. They always face growth problems. So let's just say that 95% of the, at least of my client, okay, do not exactly understand scalability. And of course, most people would think that scalability just mean big. It does not mean big. This is one of the most common misconceptions of scalability. It actually means increasing in revenue while not increasing much in cost. Okay, this is the simplest way that I can explain in a layman term. Um, there are, of course, better way to define it, but this is the most simplest way I can explain to a layman. Okay, I'll give you a live example. For example, a restaurant. I mean, a restaurant is a profitable business. I don't doubt that. Okay, but then a restaurant, you may take 1 million to set up. Then you expand to two restaurants, you take 2 million to set up, and so on and so forth. But you compare to Facebook. Of course, it took a lot of cost to set up for the present 1 billion users that the Facebook have. But I suppose that if the user increased to 2 billion or even 3 billion or 4 billion, I don't think the cost base will increase much. At least the cost of supporting 2 billion user is not two times of supporting 1 billion user. But having said that, as they has more user, they have more revenue stream from people who advertise on Facebook. So that is why Facebook is a scalable business and it attracts a lot of investment. While it does give some small dividend yield, but I don't think that's why the investor invests because they invest because of capital gains. A company that can grow very fast, that is scalable, will benefit a lot from capital gains. That is why scalable business attract more investment. First thing first, profitability does not mean scalability. A restaurant is profitable, but it does not scale. Okay. However, scalability almost certainly assures profitability. So, maybe a short conclusion: create a scalable business to attract investment and not just a profitable one. Thank you very much. You may ask more questions at the below the video, or you may subscribe to our video channel, or you can join our mailing list. Thank you very much.